Karen, the Congressional Budget Office projects this bill will add more than $2 trillion to the deficit. Now a top White House official says the bill won't increase the deficit. How are they explaining that?
They're saying that essentially that the math is incorrect. They just disagree with the analysis from the CBO. We don't have a new reaction to the numbers that Jay just got into there, that new projection from the CBO. But yesterday, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt criticized the CBO as an institution that she says has become partisan and political, and said that the White House is confident in its own economic analysis of this bill. So they're essentially saying they're just going to ignore what the CBO puts out and rely on their own in-house analysis. Stephen Miller, one of the president's top advisors, today was putting out on social media that the extension of the 2017 tax rates will not have an impact on the deficit. So, Diane, essentially what they're doing is ignoring what those projections are and going with their own numbers here.
So, Jay, what are the main sticking points from the Republican senators who say they won't vote for this bill? Are there amendments that would get them on board?
Largely, it's the deficit reduction that they want. Obviously, as we just saw from that CBO analysis, there's an estimated of $2.4 trillion added to the federal deficit in this bill over 10 years. And there are Republicans who say they want steeper cuts to try to bring that number down. The question is, though, if you cut any more out of this bill, would you turn off some of the moderate Republican senators who say they already are taking issue with the cuts that they have seen here, like Susan Collins, for instance, of Maine, who has said that she believes that these Medicaid changes that could result in, again, upwards of 10 billion people losing Medicaid coverage, according to this new CBO estimate, need to be looked at. And she's not certain. At last we heard from her that she's 100% comfortable with those Medicaid changes. Josh Hawley has said something similar, Republican senator of Missouri. So all of that to say, while there are those hardliners, those fiscal hawks pushing for steeper cuts, there's a fine line you have to make here to try to appease some of those Republicans and also make sure that you don't lose senators on the other side of this issue who believe that this legislation could make too steep of cuts to some of these vital programs.
Karen Travers, Jay O'Brien, thank you.